You know, I see a lot of guys drive it like 320 yards down the middle of the fairway and have like 20 yards to the green and end up duffing their chip, maybe three putting and getting a bogey. Well, these are the stroke savers, and today we're going to go over some things that will really help you save strokes around the green. Your scores will go down with these techniques. Let's go. You know, one of the things we're going to be more talking about pitching, but a few things to think about when you are working on your short game. Number one is a lot of times people bring the concepts of the long game down into the short game. And many times they are worlds apart. Okay. So there are a lot of things in the long game people want to bring down into the short game. And we're going to talk about some of those things today. Let me give you an example. When we're trying to compress our irons, for example, and we're trying to get really down onto the ball, we're trying to get a lot of hip rotation, a lot of leg drive, really staying down into our posture. But we've got a lot of leg drive. We got a lot of lag built up in here, and we're really releasing through the ball and all those good things that we talk about all the time. Okay. But in the short game, we're actually not trying to do those things like that. And let me explain. All right. So for example, when we are chipping the ball, or when we're setting up to hit a little pitch shot, one of the things I think that will really help you to we're just trying to make the game really easy, guys. We could talk about angles and all these kind of things, but honestly, if you don't have hours and hours and hours to practice, you're not a professional golfer, you're a weekend golfer, you go out when you can, you got a busy life, right? And so you don't have time to practice all these things. And so let's make it really simple so that you have all kinds of margin for error. And so we're going to talk about some simple things that I guarantee will instantly, and I really do, if you apply these, your game's going to be instantly better. You're going to shave strokes off of your game, and you're going to have a lot more fun playing the game, guys. All right. So number one is just a couple things to think about while pitching the ball. Okay. The first is, of course, you got to have the right setup. You have to have the right setup. You got to set up world class over the ball. We know that. I like to have the ball a little bit up front, just front of center, off my left heel. Right here. Really loose, kind of a loose grip. I want to feel the club head. All right. And my feet are pretty close together, and I've got my left foot flared. And it's really important, of course, to have your weight to the left side. So we probably want 70-30. Here's the thing that a lot of people do is they get their weight to the left side like this. Now my right shoulder has dropped back. I'm talking about getting centered over your left side. That's where we want to be. Number one, get centered over the left side. All right. That's going to help you rotate and turn through the shot. All right. The other thing, and we'll demonstrate this, some really good one arm drills today that will really help you to get the feel of this, is once you have the setup, the second thing is in the backswing, I want you to think about low and wide. All right. A lot of people try to lift the club up. They try to lift it up in the air. There are certain shots for that, but for most chip shots, you actually want to feel almost like this right arm stays straight. Now it's not going to be perfectly straight, but it feels like it stays straight and it's wide. All right. Okay. So in the backswing, the right arm stays wide here, not lifting up like this. You don't want to do that. All right. Okay. And then the third thing we'll talk about today is in the downswing. We're not getting a weight shift. And so it's not about power here. It's about bottom of the swing arc, club face control, the low point control. So that's what we're going after. We want to be able to hit the ball the same low point every single time. So it's really important to get set up that we hit that same low point. We're not hitting behind, we're not sculling the ball. And so one way to do that is to forget everything that you know in the long game. All right. So the third thing we're going to talk about today is bringing everything through together. All right. So feeling like your hips, your shoulders, and your arms are actually coming through together. It's not like the hips are leading and you've got the chest back like you would in normal swing. We want everything together.
Control wedges is to feel like you're hitting it with your arms and your body all coming through at the same time. So that's a big key for me.
Okay, and so let's put those together, and I'm just going to hit one out here, and then we'll look it down the line. But I'm going to set up, I'm going to get stacked over my left side, about 70% here. On the backswing, I'm going to go back wide, okay? And then I'm going to try to bring everything together. And as I do that, what you'll see is my chest is going to keep moving around the corner. And that's just going to be a really good recipe for consistency, okay? So here it is, stacked over the left side. I'm feeling it weight down into my left side. And as I turn, I want to keep everything together and just let momentum bring the club back. Not rushing the club, not rushing the handle down. Let it all come down together. Something like this. Okay? And everything stays together. That right there is going to help you be far more consistent. So let's go into a few drills and some details that we can get those three things down and hit better pitch shots. All right, everyone. So, one of the drills that I absolutely love is, so I like to have my short game feels right side dominant. And it's just me. I like my long game feels left side dominant. And I know there are really great golfers like Rory McIlroy that he is very much right side dominant. And so I love this drill where you just use your right hand. All right. And so this is going to help you with all those things that we just talked about before. So let's kind of review those. We want our weight stacked over our left side. That will actually level out the shoulders a little bit more because we don't want this shoulder hanging down here. You're likely to hit way behind it because the low point's going to be behind. All right. And so we're going to get stacked left. And what we want to do is, again, we want to come back here pretty straight back, almost like I'm shaking hands with somebody back here, just turning back just like this. Now, it's perfectly fine to have some hinge in the wrist. Okay. So if this could be considered wrist hinge or wrist cock. I've heard it both ways. And then you have wrist hinge or wrist cock this way. I tend to think wrist hinge and wrist cock like that. Okay, so there can be that wrist hinge. We'll just call it wrist hinge. And you can keep that wrist hinge, and that's basically from having a light enough grip where the club head, the weight of the club head will cause just a little bit of a hinge, and that's okay. That's okay. You can do that. You don't have to be rigid, but at the same time, not lifting the club up. Okay. And then of course we want to turn everything together. And so I want to just hit a few balls with you. If you have a club, if you're out at the range or if you're just in the backyard, try some of this stuff out. It's really good stuff. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to set up over my left side, grip down just a little bit on the club, because normally my left hand would be here. So gripping down on the club. And all I'm going to do is just talk about those, or just go through those three things we talked about: left, wide, and just turning together. Okay? Hit that. Everything together, everything together. I want you to think about that. Your weight stays left like this, and almost feel as if the club is where the club right here is lined up with your sternum, that's where the club stays. You're not trying to get the club behind you. Okay, so the club is just going to feel like it's in the middle of my body, and I'm just rotating my body together. Hips, everything together. Okay, so keep everything together. Wide, together. Okay, so that drill right there is really going to help you with your feels. And being right hand, for me, really feeling like that right hand and right side dominant in the short game really helps me. You can do it with the left hand as well. But then after you've done that for just a little while, then just lay your left hand or if you're left-handed, your right hand on the club, but feel the same tempo, the same motion. You're just gently putting that left hand very passively on the club. I'm getting left here, and I'm gonna feel that same motion there. Okay, so give that a shot for a few minutes. Let's take a look at this from the front view for just a second. Okay, just looking at the front view, let's just do that a couple more times with that right hand, just so you can see the setup. Going to really get onto that left side, and this is really important for chipping, chip and run, little pitch shots. Even if I'm hitting 30, 40, 50-yard shots, that weight on the left side is really a big key, because it's going to help you with your low point control. And so I'm going to get on that left side, and again, not left this way. That's more like a driver. That works great for the driver. Doesn't work well at all with this. I want to go whoop this way. Okay, so I'm going to get my shoulders pretty level. I'm going to get my left foot flared so that helps me to turn and keep rotating. Now watch this with the left hand. Watch how I just move through the ball and just collect the ball. I'm not trying to hit. If I were trying to hit the ball, I would try to hit down on the ball, and the ball is not my target. I'm just collecting the ball to get to the target. Okay, all right, so get left, get wide, and then turn through everything together. Hips, shoulders, and arms as much as you can. Okay? Now, if I rush down, and you'll find this, the one-handed drill will expose some of your flaws, because sometimes you can make up for that with two hands. But if I rush down at all with one hand, then I'm not going to be able to hit this hardly at all. I'll probably hit it thin over the green, or maybe just hit behind it. On the other hand, if I rush my body too much down, and I get my legs too drivey, like I would maybe on another shot, then that's not going to be good either. And so I want you just to look at the tempo, and just think tempo, smooth together, okay? So this tempo right here, just a slight forward press and back here. Okay, and what you'll notice, if I hold my finish right here, you'll notice that I have my chest rotated open to the target, and it just is actually, you don't necessarily have to think about that, because if you just rotate and think about gathering the ball, you'll just rotate naturally through. And with one hand, you have to keep, if you're keeping that together and not trying to get armsy and get your arms out front, it'll just naturally happen. That's why I love this drill. Okay, so let's do one more. Watch my tempo, stacked over the left side, back, everything together. See, and that's just really nice right there. So that was a good shot. Right? And so once you feel that, again, just go ahead and set the left hand on the club very gently, but feel kind of almost that lazy type feel using the bounce of the club. You're going to see some real consistency in your game. Nice and wide here, and turn. Now, see where I ended up on this one? I ended up in the same place, but my right hand, you see how I got through the ball right there? I hardly even had my left hand working at all. So putting those together is really going to help you. Now, I want to give you one final last piece that might sound really crazy to you. But I'm going to put a video up here on the screen, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. All right. So this last piece is, so we've already been taught, or we've always been taught in the regular full swing, and I'm going to do a video on this shortly, how most great golfers, great ball strikers, actually in their transition, they actually come down and their head lowers slightly, and that helps to cover the ball. And that's really good. We're going to talk about why that is on another video coming up. But in the chip, or in the this little pitch shot that we're doing here, a little 20, 30-yard pitch shot, this might sound controversial. I want you to think about your head slightly elevating, slightly coming up. That's going to help you with your low point control, okay? So it's going to look like this. So you're coming without hitting the ball yet, coming back, and then the head, as you rotate, the head actually slightly comes up, right? I don't know if you've heard this, but the head actually moves up and it just allows you to turn through the ball without jamming the club into the ground, right? Now, I'm not talking about standing clear up out of your posture. I'm just talking about here and then just raising the head just slightly as you turn through, okay? So I'm going to put both hands on the club right now, and I'm going to do that. And I want you to watch just how my head naturally moves. If I'm doing this right, my head will lift as I come up from my posture. It might be a little different than you've heard before. Okay, so my head, again, starting here, is really smooth. So let's just review really quick. Number one, weight stacked over your left side. It's got to happen. That's a non-negotiable. You've got to have your weight on your left side. It absolutely has to be more on your left. I mean, lead side, right? So that's number one. The other thing is to just turn the club back, turn it wide. You're going to get plenty of height because guess what? All of these clubs are made to propel the ball up in the air. You don't have to help that. And if you have a decent lie, getting more elevation with the arms is just going to introduce another variable that you don't need. All right. And so that's the second one, is going back. And the third one we talked about is just coming through everything together. Really think about everything is together here. All together. We're not driving with the arms. We're not driving with the legs. We're our shoulders, hips, arms together. And then the last thing, which I think is really key, is to allow yourself, as you're coming through, to just stand up a little bit, okay? Just to raise up just a little bit, and you'll see that you'll hit some very soft shots, okay? Your head might go down just a tad, and then just a little bit of a lift. If you put those four things together, guys, I really believe that you're going to be very consistent around the greens. And you can pair those long bomb 250, 350 yard shots, whatever you hit. But now what you're going to see is you're going to see your scores start to come down when you start playing some serious golf like this. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Can't wait to see you next time. If you're not part of the channel, please like and subscribe. Love to have you aboard. We have tons of content coming through all the way through the winter. So until next time, guys, take it easy.